Hello, my name is Michael Conneely, and this video is about how to approach my Nakshatras course or any study of the Nakshatras. I feel that in the Nakshatras there's a need for a balance between a novelistic depiction of what it will mean about you if you have a planet in one of the 27 lunar signs of Vedic astrology, the Nakshatras. A sort of novelistic depiction, a bit like Charles Dickens say, versus the structured analysis of the Nakshatras, the great systems that are applied to fully understand them. And I want to say that when you're starting my course, in my opinion, you must be prepared to balance both. There can be a movement in Vedic astrology to concentrate on, ancient sacred teaching and system. How does this nakshatra relate to the gunas, the doshas, all those many great concepts of Vedic astrology. But basically you won't find yourself as a nakshatra astrologer unless you can also encompass the novelistic side. So when you start my course, I send you a start document, a start handbook, and then you get an individual little mini handbook about each of the 27 nakshatras, a video for each, and you look at what each of them means. And, if you have a planet in a nakshatra, you analyse what that means. If I have a planet in a nakshatra, you analyse what that means. And you could also refer to family members and celebrities. And I give a small reading list. And in that, I particularly, mention a book or two that will give the endless structures and correspondences, what degrees in the sidereal zodiac a nakshatra lies in. Obviously, that's essential. The ruling planet, the ruling deity. But you cannot just stay there, because you won't be able to give convincing natal chart interpretation. You won't be able to actually stick your neck out and give a prediction well. You also have to bring in myth and a novelistic dimension. The myth behind each nakshatra is actually amazing opening of insight into the energy, the sort of person you will be if you have a planet in that nakshatra. So, when you're studying each nakshatra, you study the myth. But I mention, as I said, about a reading list of 3 or 4 books, and I particularly privilege those that also include a novelistic description. Now, some people look down on that and say, we're meant to go beyond our, nakshatra typology. That is very true. And in fact, a very important truth is, it's often through experiencing the dysfunctional or shadow side of our nakshatra that gives us the impetus to study Vedic astrology. And then we don't just sort of control it out through mantra or whatever. Basically, we need to heal and transform, perceive when the negative potential of a nakshatra is manifesting in our personality or in our life, and say no to that and manifest the higher potential. I mean, the fact is that human beings do have some pretty awful facets and sides to them. And the nakshatras actually pull no punches into saying what those will be. I'm just thinking just a few at random. For example, Shatabhishak, which is my default state of consciousness, can be, it's depicted as often putting a circle around it, can be quite paranoid and reclusive. So that needs to be watched. But also it's wonderfully mystical and visionary. Let's think of another example. I'm a Chitra sun, which is obviously lovely. You can't beat Chitra energy, can you? But, the power animal of Chitra is the female tiger. And in fact, you see, in Vedic astrology, there are certain forbidden combinations in love astrology, I'm not going into detail here, but the two should never ever meet. For example, Uttarashada, where the power animal is the female cow, it's just better not for the Chitra tiger to meet the female cow. So you get the idea. So you've got to be aware of the novelistic potential of each nakshatra. For example, Rohinis, they're seen as successful and so forth. But in fact, they're so controlling, they can so want luxury that they sort of look down on anyone else who isn't living up to the norms and shibboleths of the spa town or whatever. And because the sign's in Taurus, they can get very stuck in that. And so in their 40s, devastation and misery can come to them because they have stuck to very negative aspects of that sort. I'm so reminded of Dickens and George Eliot, the great British novelists. And it is with those sort of genuine human perceptions that you must include into your nakshatra studies. If you combine the awesome analytical tools of Nadi nakshatras, relationships between nakshatras, study of the power animals, knowledge of the planetary rulers and the planetary periods, if you combine those with genuine human novelistic awareness, and also know that we have, in a sense, to go through that dark or fallen archway to our higher selves, then I think study of the nakshatras will really bear fruit in our human lives. So my course is nakshatrasadvancedcourse.com. You need a bit of knowledge of Vedic astrology to do it. But, I give totally individual attention. It's a wonderful visionary course. If you want, you can branch out into healing techniques, journeying techniques with me to sort of fully understand what these nakshatras mean in your life. So that if you have, for example, Sun in Ashwini, know that Ashwini is just sort of go, go, go. That's their nature because they're springing up out of the void. They're the first nakshatra of manifestation. If you have Swati big in your chart, know that scatter is such a risk. Find out what sides of your nakshatra you have to perceive and let go of. What sides you have to nurture and let flower. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.